Hey, it's Justin Pautonnier here on the Mixed Morning Grind. Edmonton Elite Football coming to Fort Saskatchewan this summer, and I've got a special guest on the show this morning to talk about it. It is the vice president and head coach of the Edmonton Elite Football Club, Matt Wilson. Matt, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Are you trying to beat the heat?
I'm trying. It's tough. I got air conditioning inside, but as soon as you step outside, it's all bets are off.
So are you guys practicing in this?
Well, we practiced last week. Wasn't this hot, but Wednesday is supposed to be the hottest day of this week, so it'll be interesting. Definitely hope the guys get some water in them, but can't control the elements. So rain or shine, it's got to go.
No kidding. You just got to keep on pouring water into them.
Try to.
Try to. Yeah, you bet. So Matt, tell us a little bit about your football background.
My football background, it's a short story. Growing up, I played throughout North Edmonton for the Edmonton Seahawks. Took a little bit of a hiatus through high school. Came back to it into this league in 2007. So I've been around this league for quite some time, playing for 13 years. Took a while to get started, winning games, probably about 6 years, and then finally made a move to Fort Mac with the Monarchs, where I was able to win a national championship in 2018. And now I'm trying to see if I can do it another way, build a team back up in Edmonton, where I'm from, and bring a championship here.
We'll talk more about the Alberta Football League and coming up in just a second, kind of the ins and outs of the league. But what position did you play when you were playing?
I played offensive line. Just love helping people, protecting people, and moving bodies out of the way. It's a fun spot to play. No glory, but everybody knows you're there when you're needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And so how did you make the transition into coaching from playing? Was that an easy transition to make?
Yeah, I'm actually a teacher, so coaching is a natural pathway for me, I think. I went away to college after high school. When I came back, it's definitely something that I wanted to get into, and I got into it right away around 19 years old. I've been doing it ever since. Coaching men is a little different, higher expectations, definitely. But it's still just as rewarding because they still appreciate it just as much as a minor program or a high school program would.
So now, you coming from a player's perspective, do you see the game differently as a coach?
I like to think so. Being on the field with things in front of you moving so fast, it's hard to see the bigger picture, definitely at times when you just have one or two responsibilities on the offensive line. But seeing everything as a whole, it's a lot different, and having to do it all myself right now. We have been able to pick up a couple coaches, but trying to almost micromanage everything around you to make sure everything's set up and moving the way it should be with the players without that coaching help has been hard. But like I said, we have picked up, I think, 3 coaches in the last week, which has been huge. So
it seems to me like it would be, especially coaching on a men's team like that, it's like a big chess game. I mean, you're going on offense, you're going on defense, literally and figuratively, of course, and then you're kind of making moves throughout the game and maybe changing the course of the plan that you probably had going into it.
Oh, absolutely. And this league brings a weird, different dynamic in because coaches can be players as well. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So there's a chance that if the team needs it, I could be suiting back up and I could be on offense on that offensive line for a series, and then right on the sideline coaching the defense, trying to get them to stop so I can get back on the field. Like it's no breaks, but we're trying to set it up properly, right? Where we have the coaches on the sidelines that can help, where it's not players going back and forth and always on.
So the Alberta Football League will be new to a lot of folks here in Fort Saskatchewan. Give us a little quick synopsis on the league and what's involved in it.
Well, the league itself has been around for almost 30 years. It's kind of I like to think a hidden gem within Alberta because it's a semi-professional level of football in the sense that there's nothing bridging the gap between U Sport now, CJFL to the pros. So if those guys are still wanting to get some sort of recognition or film or trying to get paid playing football, we can provide them that game film so they can go to Europe, they can go to Mexico, they can go to the CFL. Players from this league have made it to the CFL, and we have CFL talent on our roster this year.
Wow.
So yeah, 30 years it's been around. It spans all of Alberta. Teams are in Cold Lake, Fort Mac, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, Airdrie, Calgary. Teams as far as south have tried to come into the league through Medicine Hat and Lethbridge, but those haven't happened. But in my opinion, expansion's great. It's building the sport. It's building a game that saves and helps so many people more than just playing football.
Oh, absolutely. And it gives a lot of these communities who wouldn't have high-level football, it gives it to them something to watch. It gives them something to follow.
Absolutely. And you can definitely see that in the smaller communities. I spent a little bit of time in Cold Lake in 2019 playing there after 2018 with Fort McMurray. And even going to Red Deer and small towns and Grand Prairie, like they live and breathe it. It's amazing. So coming into Fort Saskatchewan, we kind of lucked into it with COVID and the situation surrounding that, trying to find fields in Edmonton. Everything was booked up as soon as people could get in. And I started calling the surrounding areas. I called Sherwood Park. They were packed, and called Fort Sask, and they were able to give us the dates. And then we put some posts on Facebook, and things just exploded. And we're excited to get into the city of Fort Saskatchewan and try and build that community around there. And I could see us staying for the longevity of our team.
Well, and that's the thing, is that it was kind of big news when we heard about it. It gave us a real exciting thing to look forward to this summer. Tell us about the team specifically, the Edmonton Elite. How long has it been around for, and what's it looking like this year?
So we were adopted into the league in 2019. December of 2019, we put a bid together, myself and a couple other people who have played in the Edmonton area. And then Nick Leonidakis, who's a president, he moved to Sherwood Park from Boyle in the summer of 2019, I believe. And we just all kind of connected through playing with together or against each other, and thought we'd bring a team to Edmonton because there's so much untapped talent in such a big space. Brought it in, hit the ground running. December, we got in. February, we were practicing of 2020. Then COVID kind of slowed everything down for us. We didn't really know what was going on. Trying to build traction that way, trying to get our name out there throughout Edmonton, it is hard. It's such a big place, and competing with two junior teams, a university with the Golden Bears, and even the Edmonton Elks now, it's so difficult trying to get your name out there, getting the recognition of being a semi-professional men's league, when typically men's leagues are not always that highly sought in terms of being a semi-professional way of sport. So kind of fought through the COVID of 2020, did what we could on the field within the restrictions. 2021 rolls around, go with the roller coaster of going up and down. Again, doing what we can with the easing of restrictions, and then going back down. And then as soon as we could get into groups of 10, I think that was, I don't even know, May sometime, we were flying. We got guys together as much as we could. And then with this phase 2 starting, we just hit the ground running. And as soon as we could announce that we had a season, guys were excited. We have a roster right now of, I think, 56 players, all abilities, all talents, all levels, and coming from as far as Toronto right now, because Toronto's not having football. They decided to shut theirs down, and there's guys willing to travel out here to play. So
wow,
it's going to be exciting.
No kidding. And a lot of these players have significant college experience.
Absolutely. Our offensive center / guard, John Harkey, he played in Sherwood Park at Bev Facey, played for the Wildcats, played for the Golden Bears, and actually got drafted by the BC Lions in his draft year. Spent some time there, and he's back home trying to get filmed to go back to the league. We have a running back that spent some time with the Stampeders and the Rough Riders. A number of players have gone through the regional combines during their draft years through U Sport and stuff like that. High quality junior players that are trying to push for that university rank, and even the high school ballers that just work hard, and they're going to be just gems in the rough here, and they're going to show them what they got.
For sure. So now, as a fan here, being able to go, I believe July 17th is the first game, correct?
Yeah, that's our first home game.
Right. So as a fan, going to a game, what's the game day experience like?
The game day experience, it's not your typical Edmonton Elks where there's a big excitement and blow ups. It's It's low key. It's going to be fun. It's going to be hard hitting. It's going to be that chess match football that you like to watch, where everything's carefully planned out and trying to get the best of the team that's in front of you. Right? It's a learning curve for us, and it's a small group that leads us. The board is 6 people, and we got to worry about the football aspect first before we can start venturing into that great fan experience. But the experience that the fans are going to have is going to be great football. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be an air show. It's going to be on the ground. It's going to be the hard hitting fun that football fans like to watch.
Awesome. And so are we supposed to get tickets beforehand? Is it at the gate? What's the best way to go about it?
Tickets are typically sold at the gate. It's $10 for 18 and over, 12 to 18 or 12 to 17, I guess, is $5. Kids under 12 are free. We're looking at bringing in family pricing, so like a 2 adults, 2 children type of deal, and even entertaining that if the minor players wear their jerseys, that they get in free. We're trying to, like I said, trying to build that community, get some buzz going around, and get as many people in the stands enjoying the summer, enjoying the heat, enjoying football again. It's been 15 months, almost 2 years, so we need something back, and we're excited to be bringing it to Fort Saskatchewan.
Absolutely, 100%. And it's great family value, of course. We can't wait to see that first game coming up on July 17th. Who are you taking on in the first game?
We're taking it on the Cold Lake Fighter Jets. Kickoff is 5 p.m. Gates open at 4 p.m.
It's going to be a blast. Matt Wilson, the head coach and vice president of the Edmonton Elite Football Club, joining me this morning. Thank you so much, Matt. Really appreciate your time, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Have a good day.